Hello, everyone. Welcome to Trap Chat Presents Women's History Month. Black women working from surviving to thriving. Whew, kicking it off with one of my nearest and dearest, the professional singer of Negro spirituals, hailing from the south side of Fairfax,
Hey,
world traveler, wine and food connoisseur, beautiful smile having, just amazing person, Ms. Brandy Walke, MBA. Hey, Brandy.
hello. Thank you so much. That was a wonderful introduction. Thank you. I really appreciate that.
Okay. So we're going to jump right in because I have about 4,000 questions
Okay,
to ask you because, like, I know what you do because we used to work together,
we
but
did.
I don't really know what you do. So if you could please share your career journey from business analyst to auditor to contracts negotiator to now contracts manager.
Yes.
And then please include a pivotal moment or moments where you transitioned from merely surviving to thriving in your career.
Has that happened? I don't, well, okay, we'll see. I got out of school and was so excited to have a job when I graduated. You really couldn't tell me much of anything. This was the best time of my life. I had my little degree, I had my little suits, I was ready. I joined a financial leadership development program with a large defense contractor. I was like, this is it. I have made it, period. So I graduated with a degree in finance, and I thought that was literally the field that I wanted to enter into. I thought this is it. I know that I can see longevity in this field. Um, but then I went into this role, into this development program. And as soon as I graduated, of course, you need to get a job, but understanding how corporate finance works, it's very much on a cyclical calendar. And I just kept thinking to myself, if I have to live like this for the rest of my life,
Can
just
do it.
I will tap out. So
Mhm.
I was looking around for another opportunity and then joined a second leadership development program, which was it was called Business Leadership Development Program, but really it was about audit. So this was actually the first opportunity in my life to travel, like to get on a plane and travel around the continental United States, which was huge for me. This opened up my world. It allowed me to see other places, other people, and also for those other people to see me, which I think was also pretty important. Coming out of that role, I again found myself at a time where it's like, oh my goodness, I've got to get a job, a real job, another job. And I was looking around the company, and interestingly enough, in my building, I worked on like the third floor, and on the fifth floor, I would walk past this older white gentleman with snowy white hair. And every time that I saw him, I was like, he's not really doing much of anything. Like, what is this man doing? And I said, well, what does he do? So I asked him, I said, well, excuse me, what do you do here? He's like, oh, I'm in contracts. And I was like, okay, thanks. And I walked away with that little nugget of information. Fast forward a few.
Okay, I gotta be honest. Like you are pretending like you don't do any work, and that is
That was
not true.
a trick. And that was how I got
Oh,
bamboozled.
that's how you got tricked. I got you. I
It's
got you.
true. Because I was like, gosh, this guy, I'm running, I'm like trying to understand Excel, I'm doing reports, I'm running meetings, and this gentleman is just chilling. And I found a job opening, funny enough, that was for a contracts negotiator. And I was like, well, that guy, how hard could his job be?
Okay.
Funny enough, I thought I was going to have to do a lot of tap dancing because
Mm.
I'm in finance. This is contracts in my mind. I needed to have like a legal degree. I needed to like
Mm.
go all these things. But I was fortunate enough that they recognized the need for younger people, and they knew that they would have to train a group of younger people to come in and keep the continuity of workflow or workforce rather available.
Hmm.
And so I worked my way in, and I've been there ever since.
I love that. And that's an excellent segue into my next two questions.
Okay.
Because you touched on, it was an older white gentleman who who bamboozled you into thinking that your job was going to be this, what they call the crystal staircase. Is that the right term? Yeah.
Yes.
But as a Black woman in a field where women represent the majority of contracts managers, they're at 57.1%, but Black representation is notably lower,
Yes.
9.2%.
Yes.
What strategies have you found were most effective in challenging and overcoming systemic barriers to career advancement and leadership opportunities?
So that's a big question. But at the end of the day, showing up ready is
Mm,
always first and foremost. um, Being affable, because hey, you're working with these people 40 plus hours a week. Being humble, knowing when to be quiet and knowing when to open your mouth are some of the biggest things that you have to overcome. Because a lot of times, if you're the youngest person in the room, if you're the only woman in the room, if you're the only Black person in the room, you find yourself observing a lot. But a lot of times you're not in the room simply to observe. You are there because you are qualified and they are looking for your answer. Um, so have I overcome it? Sure. I mean, sure. I know when to be quiet. I know when to step up. I do find that a lot of times it depends on the room, because you've got a lot of people who, in my career field, you've got a lot of people who understand a little bit of what I do. I feel like there are takeaways that I give the folks that I work with, and I know that it's working when I hear other people parrot back what I've said to them. So a lot of times I don't have to do the talking in the room because I've already said the things, and so I'm
yeah,
already like, okay, thank you, my work here is done. So I feel like that's the way that I show up as a leader, is because I'm like, okay, I've
awesome.
schooled these people and now they can school others. So that works beautifully.
I love that. I love that. Again, you mentioned age,
Yes.
and I felt like I had to be 100% prepared for your interview today. So I did go look up some things.
Okay.
So statistics show the average age of contracts administration managers is 46 years old. You have a birthday on Friday.
Okay.
You were
Yes.
going to be you were going to be an age. Happy birthday early. So considering the underrepresentation of Black women in this field, in what ways have your perspectives evolved over time? I mean, we've already heard one of, you being that, going into it thinking it didn't involve a great deal of work.
All right.
Um, just as you've grown from a young to an experienced professional.
Right. Um, Honestly, that's the thing that has to deal with your mindset, and always having a mindset of being open. Whatever you start with in your career is not going to be the same environment that you'll find yourself in later in your career. Also, if you are, or you care to be a well-rounded person, you're not just doing one thing. So I've always worked in the government field per se, but I've done different things in there. I've worked in construction, I've worked in telecommunications, I've worked in IT, so there's different areas that I've gotten concentrations on. And that's why I think it's so important. When you're young, you think you know so much. And then as you age, it's beautiful because you realize you really don't know anything. And that's the beauty. I learn everything from the young people. I love to watch social media and see the young people doing it because I'm really impressed by them, as well as knowing, because I, of course, had this mindset that once you are older, you know everything, you're very polished, you're very on top of everything. But what I didn't realize was that's within you. You have to be those things in order to show up that way. And then once I realized, wait, I'm the adult in the room, it's like, oh well, let me really, okay, I'm responsible now, like just to be ready for it.
That's an awesome answer. Shifting just a tad bit though, what role has mentorship played in supporting your career advancement?
Okay, look,
And
so let's talk about
oh,
that part. Yes.
yeah, I mean, and that's a fine. This is a great place for you to say it hasn't. But in a perfect world, how can mentorship programs be improved to better assist Black women in navigating challenging career landscapes?
It's true. So I would love to tell you that I've had a host of fantastic mentors that have mentored me throughout my career.
Mm,
It's hard to find them. And I'll tell you why. Number one, the number of women in leadership positions are very few.
yeah.
There's an overwhelming number of men, but sometimes it's really hard for men to mentor young women because of the
Mm,
optics of it. So it's
yeah.
not that they don't want to, it's just that they don't necessarily want to get caught up per se in something that may give the appearance of favoritism or something along those lines. Because if you guys work in the same company and this person is kind of like mentoring you through the process, it may very well look like, oh, well, we know why she got that promotion. But
Mm,
it very well may be that this person said, hey, I know that there's an opening over here. They need your talent. And it's that kind of leadership or help that you need. I haven't had that. That's why I've probably made a million mistakes in my lifetime because I'm out here just guessing. I am literally
wow.
just hoping for the best. I have had a couple of people who I've reached out to specifically to say, hey, can you really help me? But honestly, most leaders are busy themselves.
Yeah.
Everybody has a family, they've got their work cut out for them. If they are, again, a well rounded person, they've got outside activities that they're very busy with. It's hard to double dutch even a little bit of time to mentor somebody. So it really has to be something that's of importance to them, that's a priority to them. And then you also have to be willing to receive some of the input that they give you, which I think is a whole separate set of things that you
Yeah.
have to figure out.
It's interesting you say that because, when I think about mentors, they weren't necessarily in my career field,
Okay.
because like you, there's not a lot of those people that exist, but
Right.
the people that have, and I'm speaking specifically to Black women and to Black women and about Black men, like because they were one of the only, it
Yes.
became a thing where they had to try and balance that the idea of helping everybody who was, on that either, just past early, mid, about to, really take off in their management career. And that became burdensome, because if they tell one person something that don't quite work out, I think they felt like it would reflect back on them. So I've
Right.
experienced where there will be like, a lot of interest and then like kind of some, oh no, let me back off a bit. She getting a little too wild.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And
It-
then, the other were like, well, if I help you do this, then I gotta help this person over here. And then this person's gonna find out, and then they're gonna want something and they're gonna want something. So I definitely understand that. And I don't know what the solution is. I don't know what the answer is to improve it. Maybe have, more formal programs as opposed to these, like
yeah.
ad hoc type of, this is somebody who I admire, who I can pull some things from, that I'll just go up and set up a meeting and have a conversation with them once or twice a quarter or once or twice a year. So
Right.
that was a great point.
I really think that's it because at the end of the day, if your company puts the money and the time behind it, then you know that,
Mm,
and you know that they that it's important to them. I think the problem is the time, because
okay.
if companies are willing to pay for your mentor and for your time to meet in the middle of a business day, that says something. Because half the time you're asking somebody to do this in their free time. You're asking both parties to do this in their free time.
Yeah.
Like you mentioned before, you can't overburden one person with every single young person and every single Black person and every single Asian. Like you cannot wear
Yes.
out this one individual. So
Yes. And
yeah, that's
that does happen. Appreciate that. Okay. Something that I'm tired of it, but you might have a different perspective.
okay.
Like getting beat over the head with representation, visibility, like all the time.
Mhm.
Um, Thinking about representation, visibility of Black women, especially in leadership positions,
Uh-huh.
in what ways, if any, did representation and visibility contribute to your drive and determination to achieve success in your own career?
So a little bit on this, just as coming out of school when where I was still in school, it was my final year, and I was interviewing. I found
Mm,
it interesting that when you're young, they really try to impress you. So they fly you out to wherever they are and they're like, hey,
Yeah.
come eat this dinner with us. And hey, come meet this panel. And I remember having a conversation with a group of professional men. And I said, where are the women that work here? And they were like,
Oh.
oh, we do have women on our leadership team. So and so is out of the office. And I just walked away thinking to myself, so your one piece of representation is out of the office. And like that's it. That's all you've got to show. So it's very important, especially being a Black woman. Like I want to know that there's a chance. Give me a chance. Is there a chance? Yes. Is it 2%? Yes, but there's a chance. What I hear you saying is there's a chance. Like, show me something, show me anything. I don't care. Just give me that opportunity and let me know that I don't have to do sports ball talk all the time. I don't have to go play golf with you all the time. Like, I can just be myself and still make it. Like, that's, I don't, I don't want to have to pretend all the time. Just give me a break. Give me a break.
Oh, which sports ball?
All of them, because
All
apparently
of them?
a lot.
Okay.
It's
Yes, there are
basketball,
several. Football,
football, hockey,
baseball.
baseball. Good God, baseball goes on forever. So, do I want to go to a base? I'm so proud of you for loving baseball because no, 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 no.
You've
There,
been to game. You've been to a baseball game with me.
ma'am. How
Yeah.
many times have I been back? No, no, no. I am oppressed enough. Please, not in my spare time too. Leave me alone.
Okay, Richard Sherman. I'm just here so I won't get fined. Speaking of sports ball,
Exactly.
golf, and what's the other thing you said going out to do?
Because, girl, all of it, whatever it is, I don't care.
Whatever it is in your free time. Okay.
Just let me know that I have a chance without having to do all of that. I'll do it a little bit, but good grief.
So how do you prioritize your self-care? I mean, you look beautiful. So how do you prioritize?
Because look, this
Brandy,
one
stop.
hour,
What is
this
wrong
one
with
hour
you?
time change, baby. I have lost 1 hour of sleep.
What is wrong with you?
You see that?
Like, show me how you do it. Show me how to do it.
This is my Whitley Gilbert.
Oh yeah. Okay. Okay. How do you prioritize self-care and well-being while pursuing your professional success and navigating work environments that may or may not be toxic?
If they're toxic, I quit. I
I love that for you.
I'm old. My people don't live long. I don't have time to stay in a toxic environment. You spend too much energy and effort just trying to make it through the day, and you don't think about it until you're out of that situation and you wonder how you made it out of that situation just because it took so much mental energy. We're not talking, a lot of us are working in an office environment, so we're not even necessarily talking about the physicality of your job, but that mental stress and making it through that, regardless of what your pay is, regardless of how much money you're bringing home. Is it worth it if you're stressed out all the time, if you wake up in the middle of the night thinking about things, thinking about what somebody said, thinking about if you sent an email out, did you do something, did you not do something? It's too much. It's too much. And as somebody who's going to have to work until they are 99, I need to be in an environment that I, number one, feel appreciated in, and that I can show up, do my work, and not just be overwhelmed by all the other stuff happening in the background.
I love that. I feel like that's the answer to the next question. But if you'd like to provide some additional advice or insight, what advice do you have for Black women who are eager to move beyond that survival mode to thriving in their careers?
Yeah, so that is a mindset shift, and that's the problem because a lot of times, so for instance, when you grow up poor, you take so many of those traits with you, even once you've gotten yourself into a situation where you can be comfortable, but you
Yeah.
are still living every day like, I don't know, I can't spend this, I have to save every single thing. And then you forget to enjoy life. I mean,
Ooh.
you can certainly do all the things that you want to do. You can certainly live your life the way that you want to, but it's not going to be enjoyable. Um, We're not going to see it on Instagram. So give us something to look forward to, and give yourself something to look forward to. When I don't have a vacation plan, I am miserable. I'm like, well, what am I doing? What's going on?
Like, what date are you working towards?
Yes. Give me a goal of like getting somewhere. Let me age in peace. Let me like get and let the sun hit me just at the right angle. Yes, give me something.
Okay, okay. So this is the last question in our
Okay.
main career section. I
Okay.
did a little something for different for the rapid fire. I did make them very Women's History Month focused.
Okay.
But looking towards the future, what are your hopes and aspirations for the next generation of future contracts administration managers who are entering the workforce? And how can we work together to create a more safe, equitable, and inclusive workplace?
I just want them to show up. I'm like I said, I back in my day, you could not even go into contracts as a major. Like the fact that now you can
Oh,
study this is crazy to me. All of my training has been on the job, or a couple classes here, a couple classes there. So I would love to see people show an interest in this. I would love to see people um, just, it's easy to thrive in this community. And I will tell you, a little bit of why I do so well is because I grew up as a nerd. So I read a lot. If you are
okay.
wondering what you could do as a real reader, it's be a contracts manager, because I promise what you will do is read. And then a lot of the other part of it is reading comprehension. So
Yeah.
yes, if all of these things appeal to you, come on down. Come on
Come
down.
on down. Okay. Brandy, you're so dynamic. This is why those people keep hiring you back to all them jobs all the time. I have enjoyed it. I love learning what you do. I used to pretend a lot. We work together like in contract. I'm like, Brandy does that. She works in contracts. I'm like, that's not the same
That's not
thing.
what I do.
But it's time. It is time for the rapid fire questions. Shenanigans. So I'm going to drink another sip of my wine. Okay.
Okay.
So first question:
Yes.
Who's a well-known or lesser-known historical or contemporary woman who inspires you, and we should learn more about?
Okay, so it's my mama. Her name is Margaret.
Yay, Miss Margaret!
Because I think that my mom has made an indelible mark on me. She
Yeah.
has done an incredible job of doing the most with the least.
Mm.
I love her to pieces. I give her a hard time because she gave
Yes,
me a
you do.
hard time, but it's my turn to give it back. So yes. Um,
Yes, I
but
love that.
when we're talking about like resilience, I definitely learned a lot of that from her. So yes, for sure.
I love it. I love it. See, and I love that you said that that you're only giving her a hard time because you think she gave you a hard time. Because I'm Team Margaret, by the way.
Devs.
All right, whatever. Um, what's your favorite woman-led movie or TV show? And then which character do you most identify with? Issa Rae from
Okay.
Insecure.
So actually, Insecure is a great one, but I was thinking Living Single because it was a whole
Which
cast.
one?
Living Single?
No, which character?
Do I identify with?
Yeah.
Maxine Shaw, attorney at law.
Yes, I can see it.
Ride the Maverick.
Ride the Maverick. Okay, I love that. That was a great answer. What's your favorite empowering quote from a woman that resonates with you and influenced your perspectives of women's history and achievements? Something from Margaret, please.
I was thinking a little easier,
Okay.
Maya Angelou and Still I Rise, because you will definitely need that determination inside yourself. I think for professional reasons, it's Still I Rise, and then for personal, it would be Phenomenal Woman.
Yeah.
Everything that she said in there,
Okay.
yeah, for sure.
They're both very empowering. Yes. If you could spend a day shadowing any woman in a different profession,
Mhm.
who would it be? And what would you hope to learn from her?
Okay, so oh gosh. Okay, so hear me out.
Okay.
I follow a young woman on Instagram. She is gorgeous. She is smart. She has had a whole like career where she used to work at Mercedes Benz and now she's like a VP over at Essence Magazine.
Nice.
Her and then on the side, she makes like infused ice cream. Like when I tell you, when I tell you that young women inspire me, like young people inspire me, she's one of the ones that I'm talking about because she is so amazing. She does it. She's fly. She's beautiful. She
Yeah.
flies her own jets. I was like, the things that she's doing, I never even thought about. She's amazing.
Awesome.
Yes.
All right, I'm gonna have to figure that out. It'll probably show up on my phone as soon as we're done. Uh,
About who it is.
yeah, because you said it out loud.
Oh,
So yeah, our devices are listening to us.
they are. They are.
Okay. What's your go-to songs, or music genre when you want to hype yourself up to conquer the day?
Prior to this, I was just listening to Dreams and Nightmares. Something Rick Rossy, because every day I'm hustling. Sometimes I'm fighting a power. It just depends on what I'm going through.
Okay. All right. I love all of those. Well, you know me. I love all of those things. So funny story. Brandy thought that just because I dress like a librarian, that I was an actual like librarian in real
Yes.
life.
Yes.
So this person that you all are meeting, this, extremely eloquent, like extremely serious person, is not the Brandy that I know personally. But initially, this is not the Kirsten that she knew,
Okay, I was bamboozled.
because we went on we were, soft launching our friendship. And we used to work out in a group together, and then we would do spin classes, and
That's
we had hung
right.
out. We had hung out a few times. Maybe went to Truckaroo or some other stuff. So
Yeah,
I
yeah.
was about to go to Philly, like to see Sean go on the prom. And I think that was the first time.
That we went
And
together. Yes.
yes,
That was so
and
much fun.
yes, it was. And cheesesteaks, yes. But we're in the car and the radio's on, and I don't even remember what song came on, but she was like, "What?"
I did. I did this slow, like, because the fact that you knew the words to the song, I was like,
You're like, "Where's the girl with the glasses
I
and
was
the
like,
cardigan?"
you should only know Bach and Beethoven. Please leave me alone. What is going on right now?
But I love that. I love that for us, because I am tired of hearing so many people talk about how they don't have friends at work, and they don't make friends at work, and they
Yeah,
don't go to work to make friends. And I'm like, you're missing out.
you
You're
really
so
are.
missing
And I
out.
understand why that is. Sometimes you do have to be guarded, but I feel like
Hmm.
you have to be a little bit vulnerable to allow certain people to come in, and the right ones will come in and they'll stay.
Okay.
So I think you learn very quickly which ones you can trust and which ones you can't.
True story. I didn't learn that quickly, but I learned.
Samesies.
Anywho, moving on. What's your guilty pleasure when it comes to indulging in
Oh
women-centered pop culture?
God.
Whether it's reality TV, the
It,
books you like to read, binge-worthy series, movies, self-care, recreational activities, whatever the case may be.
you know I love reality TV. You and I talk about this all the time. There aren't too many shows that I'm not like, if it's got Real Housewives in front of it,
Okay.
of
Everything.
I love all the prison shows. So like
Yes.
Ride, 60 Days In, all those things. I love watching that. So
You
yes,
love jail shows. Okay.
I do love jail shows.
I
To
haven't seen those.
myself why I need to govern myself accordingly so that I don't end up there. But hey, I got a little idea of what I need to do and how I need to act if I do end up there. So
You are not going to end up there.
I hope not.
Stop it.
Fingers crossed.
What's
Exactly.
the best piece of career advice you received from another woman?
Probably from Margaret, go to work, get up, go to work.
So
There is,
simple. Yes.
but there is no real good career advice because now that I think about it,
Ooh.
my mom can't help me in my job. Like I was reading something somewhere where kids who were influencers were trying to tell their parents what they were doing. And the parents were
Oh.
having such a hard time wrapping their mind around their child getting paid to be on their phone and they didn't understand it. But then when this child would be like buying them a house or buying them a car or fully being able to take care of themselves, then they were all for it. But a lot of the career advice has to change with the times. And
Hmm.
I can't necessarily grab that advice from somebody who's not in my field, who may be older than me and may be giving me some of the wrong advice. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's hard, but yeah, get up and go to work was definitely Margaret saying to me. So
Okay. It
I'll take it.
it
That's
has worked.
okay.
You
Then we're
turned out great. You
now.
turned out great. How should individuals and communities actively participate in amplifying the voices and visibility of Black women in the workplace during Women's History Month and beyond?
Well, in order to do that, you have to hire us. So we have to be on the payroll.
Okay.
We have to be invited into the rooms. We have to be the ones helping to create and craft policies. We have to be the ones that get a chance to speak in front of others. We we just have to be there. I think once we're there, we'll show that we are very willing to be there. We'll actively participate, but you got to give us that chance first.
All right. And then, unfortunately, for everyone else, because I'm going to talk to you again um, forever,
Yes.
what are what are you most looking forward to this year, or even the end of this week?
Uh-huh.
Whether it's a personal goal, a professional milestone, or an exciting event or opportunity. Birthday.
So yes, my birthday is on the 15th. I am very excited to be here another year.
Yay.
I made it. Mama, I made it. Um, honestly, again, I'm looking forward to a couple trips. I'll be
Yeah.
going to Italy and then to the Philippines this year.
Ooh.
I just recently took another position. So one of the things that I was most excited about is I won't say forcing, but they are re-emphasizing how important continuing education is. And so
Oh,
I will be participating in a lot more continuing education classes and training. I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to building new relationships with this company or within this company and then within a different customer set.
nice.
Hoping to make my mark in a couple different ways. So
And you will, and you will. We're going to check back. Um, thank you. I don't remember how this came about that you even agreed to be on Trap Chat,
oh, because I
but
was like, why are you all these people? You don't never ask me to talk. I want to talk.
I want to talk, and I was like, absolutely. Like, so I am so glad that you raised your hand, that you took the opportunity to raise your hand and say, "Let me talk."
Perfect. Yes. Yes. Yes.
Because this has been a phenomenal conversation, and not just because you're my friend, because if you were my friend and you had disappointed me in this conversation, or I had disappointed you, I would probably be sitting here like, what
No,
did
you
I
really came with the
do?
stats. I'm really
What did I
super
do?
impressed.
I had to listen. I had to come correct. I'm talking to you. I was like, I can't just be up here having a conversation with you like you just some Willie, like, oh, you just some person off the street.
You're so silly. So silly.
No, 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 no. I had to come correct.
So much. I really
Uh,
appreciate that.
thank you for kicking off Women's History Month on Trap
Hey.
Chat, and please do come back. I mean, this month is going to be what did the kids say? Fire? They still say that?
You're so silly. Yes.
They still say it? No, because Caden will be like, no,
Auntie,
Auntie,
just say
no.
that.
Auntie, no, that's not. So this month is going to be fire. More guests that are just as amazing as Brandy. So do come back for the next episode of Black Women at Work. Shout out to Brandy for that title. And we'll see you next time. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.